This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Oh boy, it sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, pulse95radio.com, YouTube, live on the Instagram as well at Omar Adori. We are here, and we are here with a superstar. I'm talking superstar. Heba Ali's here. Evolve Nation's in the building, and I can't wait to share this hour with you because we got a great guest on board talking to us about fitness. I call it the new age of fitness because no matter what time, no matter what year, she's relevant, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So make sure you have your questions ready. And not only that, we're talking everything fitness. We're talking the relationship with fitness. We're talking about gut health. We're talking about mental health. There's so much to catch up on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
We are back. Welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. Man, I promise you to always get you the stars internationally and locally, and this ain't no different. We've got Heba Ali on the show today. Let's give her a little bit of a round of applause. There you go. Heba, what's up?
What's up, Amar? Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. Your experiences are often very, very eventful, entertaining, adventurous. And for you to be here on the Halftime Show to grace us with your presence, I want to take as much as I can from you in that 1 hour.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you down?
I'm down.
Okay, amazing. All right, so Hiba, let's start with you firstly. Who's Hiba Ali? Tell me about Hiba Ali, the person, before we get to the superstardom.
I love that you say that because in a world where there's titles everywhere, like I'm an influencer, I'm a trainer. Hiba is someone who is a multitude of things. I think she's going to continuously evolve every day. So I feel like I'm learning myself every single day. And I changed so much. And I think in the last year and a half, with everything, I feel like we've been faced with the most adversities. And I'm a very self-aware person, but ultimately Hiba's someone that just loves to help people and loves to grow in the process. So in any channel, really, if it's fitness, if it's in educational psychologies, whatever channel it is, I'm just always looking to help people develop themselves, like far beyond fitness. Of course, fitness is the fun tool. People love seeing the explosive push-ups, the energy that I bring, but I'm just someone that likes to bring an experience to people far more than just, an educational program. And I'm constantly adapting to the unknown. Hiba likes the unknown.
I like that. And you evolve a lot.
Yeah.
And talk to me about Evolve Nation.
Okay, Evolve Nation. Evolve Nation is about mental and physical health. So you use fitness to develop your character.
Yeah.
And it's always been a focal point mindset for me, far beyond aesthetics. And that's why Evolve Nation even started, was because as a young athlete, I was looking for some legitimate coaches, and I couldn't really find any at the time. This was about 6-7 years ago, and I was like, I'm going to go online and share my workouts, and that blew up. And so Evolve Nation is about constantly believing in yourself, breaking away from societal standards. Being a Arabic woman, I don't think that being a personal trainer, traveling across the world by myself and doing all the things that I committed to doing was normal. And that takes me to my next topic, is you have to define your own things. And for me, I defined what success was. I defined what my abilities were. And I didn't let the people around me do that. And I think that Evolve Nation just wants to continuously embed that into people's mindset. It's always believe in yourself, whether there's a crowd applauding you or not, and just shoot as high as you can. I used to say sky's the limit. There's no limit.
Right.
And you can only say that when you've been exposed to so many adversities and you are carrying an open mindset to the unknown. And it's not just something cool to say, but literally you are.
How hard has it been for an Arab woman to break this industry?
Break this industry in what way?
Smash it into pieces, make people take note, realize that there's no stereotype, there's no stigma between Arabic women and fitness and health and all that kind of stuff. How has that been for you as an experience?
I think it's challenging, but it's not that difficult. I think that you just need to use your voice, and a lot of women, aside from just the Arabic culture, are afraid to do that. Growing up in an Arabic household, we didn't have this open communication of talk about your feelings. So it's hard when you're not trained to use your voice. And that's the most powerful tool you have. And for me, I grew up with a single mom, and I kind of developed leadership skills at a young age. And I just had this well and belief that what I was doing was like my gift and I needed to share it. Like I can't explain this feeling, but there's absolutely nothing that can keep it inside. It's like a volcano and I just need the world to know.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that I was able to voice it, but there were some challenges, like you don't want to disrespect the culture. You don't want to disrespect tradition. So you have to be very respectful. And I always tell this to all the Arabic women that look up to me. They're like, I want to do what you're doing with personal training. My family isn't supporting. And I always tell them, like, you need to understand two different cultures.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't care. It's that this is their mindset and their level of perception. So you have to respect it, but always bet on yourself.
I love the fact you keep using the word mindset. That's something for me that when it comes down to health and well-being, normally we affiliate that with the physical strength and all that, but there's the mental strength, which for me is probably the most intriguing about your journey in general. When you go to the gym to feel better physically, that's one thing. Where do you go to feel better mentally?
I think I'm always in my thoughts. So it's not a matter of where I am, because I am always in my own body. So you could put me on a beach, you could put me in Thailand, in Egypt, in Dubai. I'm always in my own head.
Right.
And so when I am looking for that relief, it's always just a tune in. And this is something that's very difficult to do if you haven't trained yourself to have that level of attention, that level of focus with yourself. We're in a day and age where like a ping, gotta check my phone.
Yeah.
And that's okay, right? Technology is amazing, but what's not okay is not knowing the damages that it can have, being trained to be distracted, right? This is something I want to talk about, because people are like, how do I be motivated? I'm like, well, you can't be motivated if you're always distracted.
Right.
And so like, how about you train yourself to be focused? And to do that, they don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you to be focused.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick your brain on that right after the break. We're going to have the Adhan prayer for Asad, and we'll be right back after this.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
I told you it was going to be a great show, and so far we've given you one segment of the Halftime Show, the only place to be at 3, every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 to 4, here in the heart of Sharjah on Pulse 95 Radio. Heba Ali's in the building. I was not lying to you when I said to you we go international and local, and she's here with me in the studio, in the flesh. If you're tuned in on the YouTube live, you can see her on Pulse 95 Radio or on my Instagram at Omar Al-Duri. She's here in the flesh and she's answering your questions. We're talking health, fitness, mindset, and everything in between. Just giving you exactly what you need. A little bit of dosage on the Halftime Show. Now, Hiba.
Yes.
Hiba is busy.
I'm always working. 24/7. I'm working, but I'm here.
I'm here. And she's present. Hiba, before the break, we were talking about who Heba Ali is. We were talking about how you've evolved. One thing I gotta tap into in terms of our brain is the mindset. Now, a lot of your fans, a lot of the followers want to know what it takes to get to a certain level where you block everything out and focus on your goals. Tell me more about that. She's thinking.
My answers are very complex, so I try to simplify them.
Hit me with them. Let's go.
So in order to do that, like, you have to, I call this silencing the noise. And you have to commit, number one.
Yeah.
Like, commit to the pretty and the ugly, because everyone commits to the vision, which is really nice, and they kind of don't anticipate the bumpy roads. So accepting that there's going to be a lot of obstacles and wiring your thoughts to be excited by that is something that's allowed me to really take my fitness, my business, everything to the next level. And it takes a lot of self-talk. So when your coach isn't there, right? If you do have a coach, when people aren't there, it's only you and your mind. And if you can't control your mind, how far can you go?
Yeah.
And that's why I focus so much on mindset, is because it doesn't matter how strong you are. I mean, there's a quote out there, perseverance will beat talent any day. And that's the truth. And that's something I discovered in high school and allowed me to really go into this business from a young age, is because I didn't have a sports background. Like, an Arabic family was not pushing their daughters to go play soccer, to go run. Like, it was not okay.
I love the fact you picked football. Oh, you call it soccer, but I love
yeah, football.
Did you ever play?
Yeah, I played football when I was younger.
No.
But yeah.
What position?
I was, believe it or not, they put me a goalie, but I loved being the front.
Okay.
But so I did really well in track in high school, and in 2 seasons I was the worst runner. I picked this sport because I wanted really to define my character. I wanted to see, was I really a hard worker? And so I picked something I was horrible at, and in 2 seasons I became the best. And I didn't take the D1 scholarship. Instead, I went into opening up my business and all that stuff. But what I learned was far more than just my physical abilities. I didn't care about the trophy. Like what I discovered was, oh my God, like my mind literally did this. And I'm just constantly proving this to myself over and over again in different situations. For example, Under Armour had a 10K race. You have to find your way to the finish line. I didn't train for a year. I showed up and I won first place against 60 top New York runners.
Wow.
And so it's just a constant affirmation that like, you can't use any excuse. And I'm not saying that because I'm at this level, because I'm talking to you from Hiba 10 years ago.
Yes.
Talking to you about Hiba pre-Instagram.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything. And I knew that all I needed was my mind and my will and my heart, and to do things that were passionate for me. And if you do things that mean something to you, there's no way you're gonna give up on them.
It sounds like you embrace challenge, you embrace fear, while a lot of people normally deflect off that or push that away. Is that something that you do in order to kind of get to that central mindset that you have to stay focused on things?
I think that I definitely chase fear because there's a guaranteed growth out of it. So whether it's relevant to me in the moment or not, if it scares me, I'm intrigued and I want to know what's going to come out of it.
Like skydiving.
It's just a matter of saying like, hey, this scared me and I did it.
Yeah.
And this scared me. And I believe every experience has a lesson, has something to learn. So even when I love being a beginner. And so when people see me at like this, what they look at as an end goal, to me, I'm still trying to be a beginner in other phases. Like I'm trying to do backflips, I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I'm doing Muay Thai. There is an advantage of being the underdog. And I started as the underdog. And that's what people need to focus on. It's like, don't worry about the title. Just constantly be a beginner every single day, new slate. What are you going to learn? And what are you going to take away? And how are you going to help the world with it? Right? So I'm also able to constantly evolve on a very fast pace because I'm not just doing this stuff for me.
Hiba, what is fitness? What's being healthy?
Being healthy for me is having a healthy mindset from within. Because you can be as strong as you want, but if your thoughts are toxic, we all know what that leads to.
How do you reset?
I reset through prayer.
Nice. Very nice answer.
Yeah. Prayer, meditation.
Okay.
I think that I need a lot of solitude. You know, people see this extroverted Hiba. There's many sides to me, and I don't think we'll cover it in the hour.
Yeah.
But
she's talking about coming back on the show. I'm just saying, I'm repping
coming
that there.
back.
Yeah,
Definitely coming back. But I need solitude.
Yeah.
And this is another topic that I really want to teach people about, because solitude and being alone, if you don't understand the benefits to you, it's like I'm not loved, and that becomes a threat to your psychological need. And it's in solitude where I found myself, my strength, and I heard my own thoughts. When you're constantly around people and their interests, that kind of intertwines with you. So honestly, in the last 5 years, I spent more time with myself. But when I'm online, people see this extroverted Hiba, this performance, and I love it, but I need solitude to reset.
Love it. Right, guys, coming up next, we put Hiba through something called the fire round. She doesn't know what that is yet, but what it is basically I'll throw words her way and she'll tell me her opinion on it. There's no wrong answer, but we get to see the real Hiba on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
This is the halftime show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
You hear her laughing in the background. That's Heba Ali for Hip Hop Nation, cracking up and giggling here with us on Pulse 95 Radio on the halftime show. I promised you it'd be a good one, and so far we've had 2 segments. Time flies when you're having fun. Right, for this part of the segment, let's switch up the music a little bit because it's that time. It's the fire round. You know what it's like. We put the guest through their paces, and I'm sure this one will have no problem with it. We ask her whatever comes to mind, and she tells us her opinion. There are no wrong answers, but I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. Hiba, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, right. Hiba, favorite type of coffee?
Flat white.
Oh, okay. Why did a chicken cross the road?
Because it was bored.
Jordan,
Michael.
role model?
Mother.
Oh,
Mama.
Good answer. If you could be in anyone else's body for one day, who would it be?
My mom.
Very nice. Has Mama got a name?
Yeah, Fakhriya.
Fakhriya. Can we shout out Fakhriya?
Yes.
Shout out to Fakhriya. Hopefully she's tuning in. Okay. What's your definition of fitness?
Fitness is being mentally, spiritually, and physically healthy from within and out. And I think embodying a very optimal, like I think optimization of a human is fitness to me. I don't think it's just picking up a couple of weights and going for a run. I think you have to embody a lifestyle like very organically, and it's something you live and breathe, and it's not seasonal.
Right. Ice therapy or hot therapy?
Hot therapy.
Veganism.
I love it.
Favorite cheat meal?
Sushi.
Really? I saw your post yesterday. I know why you said that. Okay. What would you do if you had one day to travel anywhere? And who would you do it with?
My brother, Hamad.
Okay.
I think we would go to London. He's a huge researcher and we're both geeks. So
Okay.
that's probably what we would do.
Okay.
Let's go to the libraries and just sleep there.
Nice. Favorite podcast?
Pulse 95. I'm just kidding. It's the radio show. I don't listen to much podcasts. I'm more of a reader.
Okay. Favorite book?
You Are the Placebo. Joe
Okay.
Dispenza.
Very cool. Yeah, great choice. Okay. Right. So I would ask you, if you weren't into fitness, what career path would you go down under?
Film.
Film. Okay.
Videography. I just love to create and share a message. And
Yeah.
whether that's through fitness or through photography, videography, it would definitely be like film. Like I would create content that would inspire people and make people feel a certain way to
Nice.
achieve
Who's
more.
the fittest person you know?
Put me on the spot.
That's why it's called the fire round.
Fittest person I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, you could judge me. I think I'm the fittest person right now.
Hey, listen.
Don't judge me.
There's no wrong answers. By the way, she's very down to earth. There's no wrong answers here. So I'm gonna pick your brain. Sleep.
You need to sleep enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 6 hours, and it's huge on mental health. So if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to improve your focus, speed up metabolism, all that, like sleep is so underlooked, and you guys make sure you're sleeping.
Nutrition.
Huge on your mindset. Your gut and your brain are connected. So think twice about that fried cheeseburger and fries. You could treat yourself, but you don't want to, jeopardize your mindset, because ultimately your gut and your brain have a signal and they talk to each other.
Performance versus aesthetics.
Performance.
Very good. I like
Aesthetics
that.
gets boring.
Very good. Okay. 3 tracks on your playlist.
Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, In My Element, Invincible. Sorry, I'm going in on Pop Smoke right now.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then Got It On Me.
Okay. Where is home?
I think home will always be in the Middle East. Although I'm from the States, New Jersey, New York. I love visiting my family, but I always feel at home when I'm in the Middle East. I just love when I can hear the Adhan and I can be around our culture. Like, this genuinely feels like home.
Very cool. Last one, your experience on the halftime show.
Honestly, it went by too quick, Omar. Next time you bring me on, don't tell me an hour.
Okay, deal.
We just touched the surface, guys. Like, we didn't even get to cut the cake. We
Yeah.
just touched it.
Yeah. I'm going to hold you against that. Next time you're in town, I'll definitely bring you back. I promise you that. All right, guys, coming up after the break, we get to ask Hiba what she's got planned, what's coming up, where you can follow her if you don't follow her already, and what projects are coming up on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time. It's the halftime show with Omar Duri. If you were tuned in on the Instagram Live, you would have seen a sprint across the room to be able to make it back into her seat in time. And you know what? She's quick. I'm not going to lie. She got there in 3 seconds flat. So Heba Ali is on the show today. Hiba, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's flowing, huh?
Yeah, it's flowing.
I swear, like it's been a good vibe here at the studio. Remember, guys, if you do miss our shows, you can catch the podcast on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. Or if you prefer a visual and you'd like to see Hiba on our shows, head over to the YouTube at Pulse 95 Radio, and we are there. All our shows are there. We cover some important topics like mental health, gut health, sports and conditioning, and all these fantastic people who are from around the world coming on here to grace us at the halftime show. So, Hiba, we were talking about where you started, where you're from, and we did that behind the scenes, but I wanted to touch on that briefly here. Where are you from? Because you said Arab world, you said spiritual, you said adhan.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Palestine and Amman. I was
Okay.
born in Amman, raised in the States, New Jersey.
Yeah.
A lot of people think I'm Egyptian because I go there every year for 3 months. Masr, I love you so much.
Yeah.
That feels like home for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Palestinian and Jordanian.
Question from Dino in London. Where do you see Evolve Nation in the next 3 to 5 years?
Taking over the world for sure.
Yeah.
I think I've been very silent. I've been behind the scenes, just building myself, building out the infrastructure for what I know is going to help millions of people.
Yeah.
It's already scaled across the globe from the Middle East to Europe to the States, of course. So there's no saying, but just keep up.
Yeah. And another question comes in. What's one challenge every person should have in their lives?
A challenge that every single person should have in their life.
Yeah.
I think there's a challenge of patience. Like a lot of us can work on our patience,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
With our relationships, our spouses, with ourselves and our own self-development journey, with career choices, just trusting ourselves. When they say trust your journey, that takes patience. So work on your patience.
I got to give a couple of birthday shout outs as well. Florin, my boy, all the way from New York, is a regular listener on the Halftime Show at this time of the hour as well. So happy birthday, Florin. I've also got to say happy birthday to Nadwa, who's here in the UAE as well, who always tunes in. And she loves you, by the way.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, she loves you. She told me. Happy birthday to Nadwa. Hidayah, our very own Hidayah, is asking, how do we stay consistent?
So to be consistent, you need discipline, right? And to have discipline, you got to do what you said earlier, doing the boring fundamental things and showing up to create, whether it's a small habit. So this is what I love to teach. Okay? Listen carefully, guys. If you are not a disciplined person, start with something very small and one thing. And do that consistently over and over and over again. And the more that you can do this, the more you sharpen your discipline and the more you sharpen your consistency. But if you want to make this easier, then add meaning to what you're doing, right? So trying to get in shape for the summer is not going to aid in long-term consistency. But having a deeper meaning to why you want to get in fit, far beyond, I just want to fit nicer in my jeans, but more so like maybe add a relation to your kids. I want to be in shape for my kids. I want to be more interactive. I want to feel better in my own skin, perform better at work. These are more meaningful things that will allow you to show up every day. So definitely tune in with yourself, introspect, add meaning to your goals, and show up every day knowing that it's going to make a difference no matter how small the act is.
Very good. Hiba, you got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
All right. Inshallah, COVID doesn't get in the way, but traveling all over the world, connecting with as many lives as possible. You know, I've scaled it online. I have my Evolve Nation membership, which we just launched, which focuses on everything that we're kind of touching on, mindset, physical training, nutrition, but ultimately it's really an emphasis on your mindset. Yeah, I give you the workouts, I give you the proper nutritional resources, but really how to improve your mindset from your self-talk, from emotional regulation to changing habits, like whether that's gearing away from poor habits or developing new ones. So I think that in the next couple of years, this is just going to continuously grow. Our community is unreal. Shout out to Evolve community, Evolvers. Like, I've never met, subhanAllah, like so many supportive, energetic people in the world. So whether you're scared or not, I think that if you are fearful, you definitely need to commit. When you said, I like to face fears, it's because I know there's a reward on the other side. So if there's a message you take away from this entire talk, it's to go face your fears and trust that something great is going to come out of that. A lot of traveling for Evolve Nation. Of course, this is relative to both the male and female gender, but I have a soft spot for women because I really understand you guys. Like, I'm like a big sis, and I feel like whether I know you or not, whether it's virtual or not, like I will always have your back because women are incredible and they're a lot stronger than they credit themselves for. And my job is to make sure I teach them that and I show them how much they're capable of. So I hope you guys can be a part of Evolve Nation and discover how much you're capable of. And we're stronger together.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the more my Evolve Nation community gets bigger, the stronger I become. And it just really affects all of us. So I'm really looking forward to the future, inshallah, and experiencing all of this.
Your relationship with yourself appears to be something that's very impressive. How have you built that relationship with yourself?
I mean, it's very simple, like solitude. Like I'm not someone that you can influence. I'm not someone that will conform to whatever is trendy. Like I was the biggest outcast, and people won't expect that. Like people don't know I was bullied. People don't know that I spent like every single day by myself for like 3 years working 18-hour days. Like nobody knows the behind the scenes. And so for me, I have no problem committing. I have no problem sacrificing and putting my desires to the side, because there's two types of desires. There's a short-term and long-term. So I think I'm just someone that has no tolerance for BS. And if you don't like my way, it's not an arrogant way at all. But I only want to attract people who have the same commonalities, who carry the same goodness, who like to give. And I think that the more true you are to yourself, the clearer your pathway will be for you. Because if you're constantly trying to impress other people, if you're constantly in situations that aren't beneficial to you, then you're just going to be like, the road is already like this, but you're just going to prolong it and entangle yourself. So for me, it's always like, just do what's true to you, do what's right. Obviously, religion was a huge factor into it. Prayer, I have roots that like you just can't change from a young age. I always say like, yeah, psychology has a lot to do with this, but I was raised very well, alhamdulillah. And I don't let anyone really change my heart, like including myself. Like the challenges, nothing will really harden me. I think I will always have that like purity that we're all born with.
Absolutely. Really, really good. Where can we follow you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Evolve Nation. You can find me on Facebook, Evolve Nation. And if you want to see another side of Hiba, you can go at Hybrid Hiba for the fashion and lifestyle and my personal messages.
And when are you going to come back on the halftime show?
Who knows? Listen, I buy one-way tickets. So who knows? I mean, I'm going to Egypt next. I should be back to Dubai very soon. I'm not going to put a date yet, but as soon as I am, I'm coming here. Amazing.
Thank you for blessing us on the halftime show. It's been an honor to host you here on the show, and I hope we hear many fantastic things in 2021. I do call you the new age of fitness, because I always feel that people consistently try to reinvent themselves, but you're so true to what you do that always becomes a consistent, renewal of truth, of mindset, of physical aspect, of also what you stand for. And today what I learned, which I didn't know before, was how spiritual you are, which I thought is fantastic. That's my takeaway from all the amazing things you do. So I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And there you have it, folks. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 to 4 on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show. And listen, don't worry, the show will be up thanks to Super Mario and Gabby, who put our shows on YouTube on Pulse 95 Radio, and as well, if you're into a podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. Hiba, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.
See you soon, guys. Coming up next, Aisha Al-Mazmi, Afternoon Karak with Mikhail Atiyah. We will see you very soon. Peace and love. Peace.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.